Hi everybody, Susan here again with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell for you today, and if you joined me Monday, you saw me create this simple stamping card for you, and today we're going to step it up right here and add a couple of layers, and we're going to do a fun technique for shading in the edge of our pieces without adding more paper. So I'll show you that, and we're going to stamp the background. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are using the Amazing Life photopolymer stamp set from the Spring Occasions catalog. I'm going to be stamping in gorgeous grape ink, and we're using Designer Series paper from the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper pack in the Celebration catalog, which you can get for free with a $50 order. I'm sure you've heard that already and know that, but it's always good to let you know in case you're new to stamping. Okay, so let me just crease this a little bit better. It's a little bit off. It's a great use for that bone folder. So just line up your edges and then crease your card. Okay, so this time we're going to add a layer of our Highland Heather cardstock. Now I'm putting this right on the face of my Whisper White card. So instead of making a card out of the Highland Heather itself, I'm using a white card base, and then I'm going to layer this on top, and then that way the inside of my card is ready to be stamped on and written in. Okay? So we're just going to do that. But before we do that, we're going to stamp a background. So I'm going to bring in that fun cake and my ink, and I'm just going to stamp a background. So I'm actually going to alternate my cake being right side up and upside down. And I'm just going to kind of stamp it whimsically across my cardstock. As you can see, every time I stamp it, I flip it in my hand and then I re-ink it. Not worried about getting it lined up, not worried about it being exactly in one's position. I'm just alternating the image to create a background. So don't get all caught up with everything being exactly symmetrical, exactly in line. It doesn't have to be. It's a handmade card. Have fun with it. Alright, we're almost done. One more. Alright, so there is our stamped background. Now let's just go ahead and add that to our card. So I'm putting a little adhesive on my edges. Put my card down, I line this up with the edge of my card and the top and the bottom, and I just put that right down. If you worry about getting ink, just flip it over, give it a good rub, and you are all set. Okay, layer one is done. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of DSP on here. Now you could put it on all rectangular and square, but I opted to put it on an angle. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to show you the tag. We did this on Monday, but I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment right on my tag, and I'm going to add my cake image. Okay, so now we've got that repeating image in the background, and then we've got the image on our tag as well. Now, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I have a little edge all the way around my tag here. Okay, and I didn't add any more paper. I didn't mount it on another piece of paper. What I did was I edged it with ink. So you could do this with a sponge, but here's an easy way if you just want just a little bit of color shading your edge. Just kind of tap it into your ink pad, and it just adds a shadow of ink. So I'm going to do all four sides. Okay, I'm going to put that down on the white, and can you see how it's just got a little edge of color there? Now I'm going to do the same thing to the DSP. So again, I'm just going to tap that on my ink. Now, depending on how moist or how dry your ink pad is, you may find that you need to re-ink your ink pad, and then you need to be careful that you don't press too hard, because then you might get a lot more ink than you want. But you just go around, tap it on the ink pad surface, and just create that shadowing effect on the paper. Now, I'll tell you, I learned that trick when I was scrapbooking in Oregon many moons ago, and a scrapbooker was showing me she would cut her photos, and then the photo paper would leave that white edge, and she would take a black marker and she would edge her photos before she put them in her book. And I thought, oh, that's a really cool idea, and I started doing it on some of my projects as well as in my scrapbooks. So that's a cool little trick. Now, we could just snail this one down, but I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals, right? We are stepped up for this project. So let's just go ahead and add dimensionals just to the tag. And we will have our stepped up stamped project. So really, not all that more difficult, right? We added a layer of cardstock. We edged our tag and our DSP, which we cut down to be a little bit smaller. We stamped a background. We stamped the exact same tab, but we're just putting it up on dimensionals, right? And then we're going to stamp our envelope. Stamp a card, stamp an envelope. Why send a naked envelope when you don't have to? All right, so there you go. There is our stepped up version of our project. And once again, this was the card we did on Monday. That was our simple stamping project, right? Paper, ink, stamps plus DSP. This is still paper, ink, stamps, DSP. We just added another piece of cardstock. We edged with ink, we stamped a background, and we cut our paper down a little bit. So have fun with your supplies. Try things differently. You might surprise yourself. All right, everybody, I'll see you on Friday with an over-the-top card, and I hope you do some fun stamping. Bye-bye.